Episode 7. Jim the Captain. The following morning, when I woke up, I realized I had drifted to the south of the island, very near the shore. I spotted the Hispaniola drifting aimlessly and concluded that either the crew was sleeping or they had deserted the ship. I decided to board the ship and return her to our captain. When I reached the ship, I climbed on board, but everything was deadly quiet. There was no one in sight. Where was everyone? Then I saw a pirate laying on his back, dead. A little further on was a second pirate. I knew him. His name was Hans. He was alive but injured.
"Water," he groaned. "Please, give me some water."
I went down to the galley to get him some water. I thought he might be useful. When I got to the galley, I looked around in horror. All the cupboards were open. Food was everywhere. Everything was broken. The pirates had ransacked the ship and opened every chest in search of the map. I got the water for Hans and went up on deck. Hans told me about the dead man.
"We were left alone on the ship," he explained. "We put the sails up and we were going to sail away, but we had an argument, started to fight, and now he's dead."
"I'm taking possession of this ship," I said firmly. "From now on, I'm your captain, and the first thing I'm going to do is take down the Jolly Roger flag."
"Listen, Jim, you're not a sailor. I'll help you to sail the ship if you tend to my wounds," offered Hans.
I agreed to work with him, at least for the time being. We set off. The wind was blowing strongly, and soon the ship was sailing fast.
"Captain," he said after a while, "would you please go and get me something to eat?"
I guessed that he wanted me off the deck for some reason, though I wasn't sure why. I went below and I climbed up a ladder from where I could see Hans, but he couldn't see me. I saw him crawl across the deck and take a knife from under a pile of ropes. He hid it in his jacket and went back to where he was before and lay in the same position. This was all I needed to know. Hans was mobile. He was armed, and I was going to be his next victim. I went back up on deck. We continued to work in unison. He gave orders, and I obeyed. He had no idea that I trusted him as much as I trusted my worst enemy. But just as we were approaching the anchorage, I saw a shadow from the corner of my eye. Hans was coming towards me with the knife. Quickly, I stepped aside and he missed. Then I punched him hard on the nose and he fell onto the deck. It was all over. I tied him to the mast, and since the ship was now in shallow water, I climbed out of the ship and walked up to the beach. I approached the log house quietly. When I got there was nobody on guard. This was very strange. I opened the door quietly and crept in. I nearly jumped out of my skin. A voice screamed, "Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!" It was Captain Flint, Silver's parrot. The pirates had taken over the log house.